to Study with Sudhir. This is your digital classroom and I am TS Sudhir. I hope you are doing well. We did two videos on which board would be ideally preferable if you want to pursue the science stream, medical or non-medical, that is either a PCM or a PCB combination, or if you want to pursue the commerce stream. I hope you have taken a look at those two videos. So I'm putting the thumbnails on the screen. Otherwise, you can go to the description box where I have pasted both the links. Today, we are going to be taking a look at which board would be ideally suited if you want to pursue the arts or the humanities stream, the ISC or the CBSE or any one of the state boards, right? Now, arts, if you look at the number of subjects you could actually learn, and also in terms of the number of professions that the arts or the humanities courses actually prepare you for, the subjects that they prepare you for are actually much more vast. The spread is much more vast than in the case of either science or commerce. Okay, because with a humanities background, you can actually do far more and a far more number of professional opportunities actually open up for you. Okay, why I'm saying this is because I want to bust this myth right at the outset, which many people actually harbor, that only the most intelligent, the topper kind of students go for the science stream. Okay, the ones a rung below opt for the commerce stream, और जो बिल्कुल डफर होते हैं, जिनका कुछ नहीं बन सकता, वो आर्ट्स चूज करते हैं. This is a lie. This is the myth which I want to say is absolutely not true. ये इसमें बिल्कुल भी सच्चाई नहीं है कि सिर्फ जो अच्छे पढ़ते हैं, अच्छे विद्यार्थी होते हैं, ज़्यादा अंक प्राप्त करते हैं, वे साइंस सब्जेक्ट्स को चूज करते हैं, विज्ञान से जुड़े हुए सब्जेक्ट्स को चूज करते हैं, और उसके बाद कॉमर्स की बारी आती है और उसके बाद ही आर्ट्स और ह्यूमैनिटीज की बारी आती है. इसमें कोई सच्चाई नहीं है. तो अगर आप आर्ट्स को चुनना चाहते हैं तो डोंट बी स्केर्ड ऑफ द लेबल की ये बेकार है इसीलिए इसने आर्ट्स को चुना, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. लेट मी मेक दिस लाउड एंड क्लियर. इनफैक्ट many tech companies, which includes many IT companies now, are actually finding out that when they hire people only with an engineering background, they come with only a certain set of skill sets. They come with only a few skill sets which they have learned in their engineering college. Okay. And in order to constantly innovate and be more people-centric, they have found that people who are from an arts background or a humanities background, they are actually more preferable because they think from the point of view of people, and number two, are also more culturally and sociologically oriented, which they feel is more ideally suited when they are designing products or kind of inventing programs which can reach to a wider mass of people. Okay, so it means that even tech companies are kind of moving away from hiring only engineers. Okay, so there is an opportunity waiting for you even in the otherwise thought of only engineering domain, IT companies, software companies, other kinds of engineering oriented companies. Okay, so that is where the humanities students can actually come in. So now let's first speak about which board actually helps you better. Frankly speaking, both are good, but I'll tell you what is really the difference between an ISC approach and a CBSE approach. We'll do a SWOT analysis, what would be the pluses and minuses, and finally it's for you to take a call. Here I'm not going to tell you choose this, that's not for me. Every student is different. There is no one size fits all. What worked for your brother or sister may not work for you. So every student is actually very, very different. Okay. On aeroplane mode. Okay, now there is little to choose between the two, except for the fact that just like I explained in both the science video and the commerce video, the quality of English is vastly superior as far as ISC is concerned. It's more tough, it's more elaborate. The quality of lessons need you to put in more hours in an ISC board than in the CBSE board. Okay, so if you are looking to kind of opt for a career, and I'm talking specifically about those who are looking to take arts. If you are looking to opt for a career after that, now you think of your career also, what you will choose your undergrad course after you pass class 12. where you will need better English skills will actually help and come in handy, then you should definitely consider the ISC board. So it's a call you need to make. But I would also caution you that if you have been a CBSE student till class 10 and now want to make the switch to an ISC, आपको थोड़ी दिक्कत आ सकती है. You may find teething problems, initial adjusting problems, because suddenly the format, the tone, the tenor, everything will be a little different from what you have learned in your NCERT CBSE books. So I must caution you on that because it's far more in-depth than the NCERT books. For professions like, say, for instance, media related professions, journalism, mass media, where writing skills, vocabulary skills, speaking skills they come in very handy. Or if you want to do courses like, say, English literature honors, ISC is definitely a better option than CBSE. Okay. But here again, I want to add a caveat. You know, people think that, okay, if you want to do something related to media, and media does not necessarily mean only TV and newspaper these days. Media is a whole large medium. It's not when I got into media in the very early 90s, it was only newspaper. In fact, I thought I'll only work in the newspaper. Television had not even opened up. But within 2.5 years of working in a newspaper, the Economic Times, I moved into television because it had just about opened up in the mid-90s. Today, journalism, media is not just about newspapers and television. It's about web. It's also about different other kinds of web forms of entertainment, journalism, news media, stand-up comedy, anything and everything has some element of journalism and media associated with it. So don't go and look at it only in a very narrow prism, but actually it's a much wider horizon. So journalism is also not about the other presumption is that journalism means writing about politics or writing about city issues. No. If you are looking to do, say, something like health journalism, in that case, even a science background will actually help you. I know of people who are from a science background and they go on to become fantastic health journalists. Or if you are again from a biology kind of background and you have done something very good in botany, you can do very well in agriculture related journalism, which is again another important field, very, very important. Or for instance, if you are looking to do financial journalism, it will mean that a course in commerce, economics, accountancy will actually help you understand, analyze a balance sheet better, look for stories in between the numbers, analyze numbers better. Otherwise, people get confused between lakhs, crores, millions and not able to understand the financial jugglery at all. So it also depends on where your interest is and what you want to do. So this is the time when you need to make that call and accordingly take the best possible decision. Okay. Now, you need to be clear about what you intend to pursue, as I said, where your heart lies, not what your friends are doing. You remember that scene in Lakshya where Hrithik Roshan says he goes and applies for engineering just because his friend had also applied for the entrance examination. आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते हैं. You need to be very clear कि what your heart wants. You cannot do what your father wants you to do, or your father wanted to do some course but he could not do it, so he wants you to do. ऐसा नहीं चलता है. Where your interest lies is where you need to do. And also another fact you always remember, engineering में बहुत scope है, doctorate में बहुत scope है. There will be a lot of this Batra uncle and Mehra auntie who will come and give you this kind of ज्ञान. वो सब ज्ञान से नहीं होता है. Listen to everybody, listen to career counselors, everybody. But finally you need to know, only you know where your interest lies. And according to that, you need to take that call. Okay, if your interest is in flying, you need to pursue a course which will help you become a pilot. Simple and straight as that. Okay. Also, the big difference between the two boards, and you can call it an advantage and a disadvantage depending on how you look at it, as I said in the beginning. CBSE is more structured. CBSE is more structured because you have NCERT books, whereas in ICSE, different schools actually follow different kind of textbooks. So what happens is that you generally follow a textbook, then later on halfway through the year, you find that there's another book which is actually better or as good. Then you don't want to take any chances, so you start reading from that book, also using it as a reference book. So in that sense, you end up reading far more than what a CBSE student will actually do. Okay. Now the advantage with this is that you actually end up gaining more knowledge. You are a much more of a knowledgeable student at the end of it than a CBSE student who will follow the NCERT syllabus, because वहीं से एग्जाम में प्रश्न आते हैं. Okay, so I have told you both the pluses and the minus as far as that is concerned. Also in arts, unlike science where you do not, where you science में the always the point is physics के सारे question NCERT के book में से आते हैं, chemistry के सारे questions NCERT के book में से आते हैं. That's the general feeling. In arts, that is not really particularly the case. The arts is more about widening your horizons. Your approach has to be different. You need to think in a much more of a creative way. Okay, so here the book, the textbook, the reference book doesn't really matter which book it is. The more knowledge you get, it will actually help you become better and better, both in exams and in life. Okay, also if you are looking for, say instance, careers in fine arts, performing arts, designing, then art stream works very well for you. And here again, CBSE, ISC can be 19-20 ka farak. I wouldn't really recommend a state board, because state board syllabus etc. is a little rigid. They don't really encourage you to think out of the box, and I do not want to generalize it across state boards. There will be some state boards which will be marginally better than the others, but largely I would say if you are looking to pursue an arts and humanities course, an ISC / CBSE would do much better for you. Okay, so if you are looking for these kind of careers later on, fine arts, performing arts, acting, designing, interior designing, fashion designing, then arts humanities course in either CBSE or ISC will work very well for you. Also, for those who intend to pursue careers in political punditry, these days political scientists, political analysts, the kind of work that Prashant Kishore does, a whole lot of those kind of people who help you during the elections, politicians during the elections, those kind of career options have opened up. So people who want to do political science, public administration, history, all these subjects actually help you in that kind of a career path. Okay, same goes for those who want to take a shot at UPSC, that the arts courses, history, sociology, psychology kind of subjects help you. But here again, I know I have many friends in the civil service, both IAS and IPS officers, who were earlier either doctors or who had gone to IIT and later on went on to crack the UPSC and became either IAS or IPS officer. So that path is also pursued by a whole lot of people. So ऐसा नहीं है कि इंजीनियरिंग कर दिया तो पूरे जिंदगी लार्सन एंड टूब्रो में या इन्फोसिस में काम करेंगे, ऐसा नहीं होता है. People take a shot depending on where their interest really is, but arts is a reasonably good option. And here again, ISC is a very good option, because as I said, the depth of knowledge that you get, the vastness of knowledge will actually help you, because UPSC is again like an ocean. आपको कहां से क्या पूछा जा सकता है कुछ पता नहीं रहता है. तो ISC is definitely a good option if you want to pursue a career in if you want to take a shot at the UPSC. But you could be again a student who is good at, say for instance, subjects like history, sociology, political science, but you may not be very good at English. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. In which case, you should not try to kind of take on ISC, because वहाँ पे suddenly the English level will be very much, and you will end up spending far more time trying to master English. In which case, go for the easier option of English in CBSE and concentrate on these subjects like sociology, political science, public administration, psychology, history, जिसमें कि आपकी रुचि हो and where you want to make it career. So see, I mean, there are lots of kind of variables which you need to factor in before you make this choice on whether you want to go for ISC or CBSE. Okay. But whichever board, lastly, whichever board you actually choose, ensure that the 2 years, if you are an arts or humanities student, please ensure that the 2 years that you spend, do not spend being glued only to books. These are the 2 years, unlike science students and to an extent commerce students, you should actually use to do a whole lot of extracurricular activities, going for various competitions, debates, writing competitions, जिसमें भी आपकी रुचि हो, quiz competitions. Try to go for quiz competitions as much as possible on behalf of your educational institution or on any other kind of quiz competition, so that you get to learn as much as possible. That has to be your motto. Don't look to only score marks in the final examination. That is something which an art student should definitely do. Spend time on the net, read a lot of reference books, spend a lot of time in the library. As I said, participate in competitions, hone your skills really to become a better student, become a better person, more educated person in that sense. Because if you are a humanities student, 11th and 12th class is essentially like net practice. Net practice, so jitna aap time spend karenge at the nets, you will only get that much better in order to prepare yourself when you pass out of class 12 and get into the undergraduate course. So that is my suggestion. I hope this has been helpful to you. A lot of variables, as I said, so you need to take that call. As I said, not much to choose between CBSE and ISC except for those few factors which could actually make a difference in determining and impacting your final decision. Thank you very much for watching. All the best.